So, Peter, this new AI Microsoft thing, $3 billion, big job creators, that's in Racine. Isn't that the same town that Foxconn said, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, we're going to build a big plant, and they never did?
Yes, and that was a huge Trump announcement back then, and he said that the factory was going to be the 8th wonder of the world, but then Foxconn decided to really scale back their plans, and the land is still available, so Microsoft is going in.
It's going to be good for those people.
I don't know how many more examples you need of the fact that Donald Trump spent his entire presidency promising shiny things, but failing to deliver at every turn. He promised infrastructure, never delivered. He promised jobs, never delivered. He promised a middle-class tax cut, never delivered. He promised a health care plan, never delivered. Donald Trump's entire presidency is a black hole of populist promises. It took Biden to actually deliver on all of Trump's pie-in-the-sky promises. Today, Biden's in Wisconsin to unveil a $3.3 billion, with a B, investment by Microsoft to build an AI data center. In a twist of poetic irony, it is the exact same location where Trump promised a Foxconn facility that would be the 8th wonder of the world 7 years ago.
The 8th wonder of the world.
One that, surprise, surprise, never actually materialized. Again, Trump made empty promises, Biden is actually delivering on them.
Our country's proud manufacturing legacy. Well, we had an infrastructure day every week for 4 years. Didn't build a damn thing. He administration promised a $10 billion investment by Foxconn to build a new manufacturing complex, create 13,000 new jobs. In fact, he came here with your Senator, Ron Johnson, literally holding a golden shovel, promising to build the 8th wonder of the world.
This is the 8th wonder of the world.
Are you kidding me? Look what happened. They dug a hole with those golden shovels, and then they fell into it. Look, they didn't shovel other dirt. They did shovel some dirt. 100 homes were bulldozed. They wasted hundreds of millions of dollars, your state and local tax dollars, to promise a project that never happened. Foxconn turned out to be just that, a con. Go figure.
This major news is being quite well received in Wisconsin, which stands to derive massive benefits from the investment. That was made clear by Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler from the event today.
Hey, this is Ben Wickler. I am in Sturtevant, Wisconsin, right by Racine, where President Biden just made his announcement with Microsoft about a $3.3 billion investment to build an AI data center here in the community where President Trump promised the 8th wonder of the world and then completely choked. President Trump was here with his golden shovels digging a hole, and then as President Biden said, Trump dug a hole and then fell in it. When Trump promised to bring jobs and to build a facility here, nothing actually came of it. They bulldozed people's homes and then they walked away. And now President Biden is here, and in fact this will be the biggest Microsoft facility in the world. There's going to be enormous training programs to make sure workers get the skills to work in data center facilities like this and do innovation, work around AI. This is exactly how you rebuild America, and President Biden is getting it done in the place that could tip the entire presidential election. As a state Democratic Party chair, I could not be more happy, and as a Wisconsinite and an American, I couldn't be more proud that we're actually building things here and doing things here, rather than making promises that turn into smoke.
Even the Microsoft president made clear how important Biden's role in this was.
I will say this. This administration has been enormously helpful. A project like this, it requires the bipartisan infrastructure bill that was passed, the chips that will be produced in America through the CHIPS and Science Act, the clean technology that will benefit from the Inflation Reduction Act, this administration's commitment to safe and secure AI and cybersecurity more broadly. So we're pleased with the work we've done at the national level, all the way to the state with Governor Evers, the local village and county of Racine. Everybody has to work together. At the end of the day, that's how you get things done, whether you're a business or anybody else.
And let's be clear, Trump's empty promises aren't isolated to what happened in Wisconsin. Take a look at this ad that breaks down the pervasiveness of his lies.
If I'm elected, you won't lose one plant. You'll have plants coming into this country. You're going to have jobs again. You won't lose one plant. I promise you that.
The $10 billion Foxconn investment in an LCD plant in Racine County that never arrived. That land remains mostly empty.
Those jobs have left Ohio. They're all coming back. They're all coming back.
A large American factory stopped production today after more than half a century. 1,600 workers at the General Motors plant in Lordstown, Ohio, are affected by this.
It's hard to even fathom that I'm not going to be coming back tomorrow.
No more empty factories that sit there and rot.
Operations at GM's Warren transmission plant end today.
All the people that are left inside know
this is their last shift here.
In other words, this isn't a bug, it's a feature. Trump will say whatever he needs to say for your votes, but when push comes to shove, the only priority he actually cares enough about to deliver on is tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. Do not listen to what he says, watch what he does. Now, in fairness, I think it's at least worth highlighting what Trump is doing today. I don't want to give the impression that I'm only willing to give the spotlight to Joe Biden and to simply ignore what the Republican presidential nominee is up to. Turns out, Trump is spending his day off from his criminal trial, where he's being prosecuted for 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, to hide multiple affairs he had with porn stars and playmates from the country while he was running for president, to host a dinner at Mar-a-Lago for people who bought his NFT trading cards. Here's what those cards look like, in case you were wondering. That's right, no one can accuse Trump of not focusing on what's truly important in this country: worthless digital trading cards whose funds are likely helping him pay for his legal fees. Talk about a guy who's really got his finger on the pulse. And what's especially interesting about the fact that Trump is spending today giving a little pat on the back to the folks he's grifted is that just yesterday, Trump said this.
It's a disgrace. In the meantime, I'm stuck. I'm here. Instead of being in Georgia, instead of being in New Hampshire, instead of being in Wisconsin, and all the different states that we wanted to be in, we're not able to be there because we're stuck in this trial, which everyone knows is a hoax.
That instead of being out in Georgia, he's stuck in court. Funny how the moment he's not stuck in court, he's out greasing his fans who gave him more money. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Trump does not care about you, he cares about himself. He is not in Georgia because he doesn't care about Georgia, he cares about his money and his power. And so he will only try to give an incentive for more people to give him more money so that he can get more power. This is what he's focused on, just like it's always what he's been focused on. Donald Trump's only priority is Donald Trump. The fact is that we don't have to settle for a president who delivers more than empty promises, because right now we have one who's actually making good on his. With Biden, we have an infrastructure law that was a punchline during the Trump era. We have over 15 million jobs added that were promised during the Trump era, and then he failed to deliver. We have manufacturing surging back to the U.S., which was promised during the Trump era, but he never delivered. We're taking care of our veterans with the PACT Act, which was promised during the Trump era, but never delivered. We're lowering healthcare costs and getting the government to negotiate lower drug prices, which was promised during the Trump era, but never delivered. We are passing gun safety laws and codifying marriage equality into federal law and removing marijuana as a Schedule I drug. This is what it looks like when a president and a political party don't just dole out empty promises for votes. It's what it looks like when those promises are actually made good on. The sad truth is that Republicans are incapable of delivering on their promises because they are incapable of governing. The last 2 years have shown us that it is an accomplishment if they can manage to keep the government open. It's an accomplishment if they can manage to keep their own speaker in place. These people have had 2 years in power and have overseen a historically ineffective Congress, wasting 16 months on an investigation into Hunter or Joe Biden that went exactly nowhere, and also attempting to pass a bill protecting gas stoves that were never at risk. Objectively speaking, this Republican governing majority is a joke. This isn't happening in a vacuum. It is what we risk by electing any more Republicans in November. So we can either elect a party that's willing to work for its constituents, or a party focused on useless investigations led by a criminal defendant. Take all the time you need with that one. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.